Good evening. Welcome to our show tonight.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to ride.
It's in a skillet. Dump onto me.
So light, even Junior can help.
Are we this demented as a race?
And great fun for the whole family. But we're not just ordinary people.
Alright, take 69 and action. Ow. Hi. Welcome to the Static Hour. What is the Static Hour, you may ask? Well, it's a podcast that no one asked for, but here it is. Here it is in all its glory. The Static Hour is hosted by me, your host, Rick Bravo. And full disclosure, I already recorded a full hour of this podcast. However, I ordered the cheapest mics from Amazon, and the quality shows, because halfway through my recording of the podcast, I heard literal static in the microphone in the recording. So it's a cruel little joke, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll order some. And it was at that point, because these mics were like about $20, the ones I originally ordered, and I was like, let me see if I can get some higher quality mics. And then the mics were like about 150, 200. I was like, do I really want to start a podcast? I was like, I don't think I want to invest this much, but you know what? I said, screw it, let's do it. I ordered them, put it on a credit card. Let's go. Let's see what happens. So here we go. We're doing it all over again, and I think this time, I know the podcast is called the Static Hour, but I think I'm gonna just do a half hour, man. Honestly, if you were to listen to that first hour that I did, if you take off all the dead noise and all the ums and all the incoherent thoughts I had, then yeah, it'll come down to about 30 minutes. So I'm gonna just try to keep it nice and tight, just like I like it. Just kidding, guys. But anyways, welcome to the Static Hour. Let me tell you a little story about the thought of the Static Hour. I like static. I like club soda. People say it tastes like static, but excuse me, I don't mean to be chewing ice on the mic. But I originally wanted to call this podcast Static Thoughts. I was like, hell yeah, that sounds really good, you know. And I was like, let me Google this, because I like to leave no stone left unturned. And I Googled what static thoughts means, and according to Google, static thought, also known as static reasoning, is a term used in developmental psychology to describe a children's belief that the world is unchanging. It's like they believe that how things are in the present is how they will always been and always have been and always will be. Like, you know, I guess like when I was a kid, I used to think back in the day the world used to be black and white, because the black and white movies. I guess that's what static thoughts are. I was like, that's not the idea I want, you know. If I put static thoughts, I don't want people thinking I'm not a person that grows, you know. Because honestly, that was one of the reasons I was always like nervous to start a podcast, was because I didn't want to listen back to myself, man. Have you ever looked at your Facebook post or your old tweets or your old MySpace posts? Ew, dude, what the hell? I grew up so much as a person. I thought I knew the world at the tender age of 21. You know, I thought I knew it all, man. And you look back, you're like, dude, you're just a fucking idiot. And now you look back and you see people thinking they have it all figured out. It's like, no, you don't, man. No one does. And that's the kind of thing, like, you know, I didn't want to do a podcast because I don't want to listen back to myself. But whatever, you know, whatever. Oh, another idea for the name of the podcast was a static picture. But according to, you know, I'm thinking, when I say static, I'm thinking like TV static. So I'm like, oh, like the big picture is a picture of static, you know. It's just all noise, man. It doesn't make sense. But apparently the term, I googled the term static picture, and apparently static pictures are visual images that do not move. They include greeting cards, posters, slides, photographs, paintings, compact disc covers, comics, cartoons, charts, collages, models, dioramas, newspapers, and print advertisements, meaning a picture that doesn't move. That does not mean at all anything when I think of static. You know, when I think of static, I think of you know, the TV, the white noise, the type of thing. Sorry guys, I just did that to you. And I know I'm doing a podcast. I don't have the great I want the whole vibe to be like, I want you guys to listen to this when you're at work, because I want working people to be listening to my podcast, you know, as they work, or when you're trying to fall asleep, you know, just like you put white noise to fall asleep, you know, like that type of deal, you know what I mean? I know I don't have the best ASMR voice, but you know what? I'm gonna give this whole thing a whirl. But that's a static picture. That's what a static picture is. My whole vibe is like the whole idea, the whole essence, the whole aesthetic, more or less, that I was going for was like, you know, when you're a kid, you know, and you're trying to watch those illegal channels your family can't afford because they can't afford cable. So you're on like on HBO, and it's all blurred out, or a pay-per-view channel, or what was that? What was that channel that had the softcore porn? Eclipse, Elix, Epic Picture. I don't know. You guys know. If you guys know what channel I'm talking about, you guys are real ones, man. You guys grew up right. You know, you're sitting there at a young age, looking at the static, just trying to see if a boob pops out, and that's pretty much the idea of the podcast. You know, try to be funny. Hopefully, we see a boob, something that makes us happy, laugh, excited. Hopefully, right? That's the goal. So anyways, welcome to the Static Hour. Like I said, I'm going to keep this nice and tight and short. 30 minutes is what I'm going for. I can't do another hour. I will be doing more hours. I'm going to try to get more guests. In fact, for the first one, I didn't have a guest, but I managed to snag a guest for this short little podcast I got going on here. And, well, let me just go ahead and introduce her into the podcast. You want to come over here to the mic? Say hi to the people listening right now. All right, I've known this person for many years, about maybe going on 3 years now. Is that right? All right, cool. All right, well, just say hi to the people. All right, go ahead. Meow. All right, thank you, Shirley. Thank you for joining the Static Hour. That's my cat, Shirley. Yeah, she is a person. I consider her a person, and I love her with all my heart. She is my cat. I also have another cat named Mojo. He might make another appearance in the podcast. Hey, guys, relax. Hey, take it easy. Hey, slow down. Relax. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah, you're right. Hey, welcome to the Static Hour, man. They can't all be boobs, you know? I can tell you how I came up, what made me decide to start a podcast. If you're interested, are you listening? Are you sitting down? What did I tell you about sitting down? I want you to be working. All right? No, I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want, man. Like I said, you can be falling asleep to my nasally prepubescent voice right now. Enjoy that shit. No, but I came up with the idea of starting this podcast. Well, I always wanted to do a podcast because, you know, I got a lot of fellow comedian friends. The Riverside comedy scene, shout out, you guys. Got a couple of them doing podcasts. You may know them. I've done a couple of them. and I enjoyed the experience. I really did. And I wanted to do more podcasts, but ain't no one out there asking. So I said, all right, I'll do it myself then, man. No. I for the main reason, which I stated earlier, I didn't want to listen back to myself, you know, doing like the thoughts. But, you know, I said, fuck it, let's go. Why not? Let's do it, right? So anyway, a couple weeks ago, we were at the Worthingtons doing the mic, the Buddy System mic that they host out there every Thursday. They hold it down, fucking, during the hot and the cold. These guys are warriors, you know. So anyway, we're all there and everyone's talking about going to goth night. You going to goth night? You going to goth night? And I was there with my girl, you know. And I was like, fuck it, let's go to goth night, you know. And it's so funny. Like, the thing about my girlfriend, she's she loves the beach. She loves everything about the beach. She even has a very nice smelling perfume that smells like the beach. No, I'm not talking about like seawater. It smells like suntan lotion and coconut. It's very nice. So she likes wearing sandals. She listens to Jack Johnson. She plays the guitar and the ukulele, and she sings. So she's that girl that'll be at that barn fire, you know. And she can sing, man. She can in key. She can sing in key. I can't sing in key for shit. So anyway, she's a very beachy girl. So she wears like sandals, flip flops in between the toes, flip flops and stuff. And so she's wearing flip flops. She has no idea. We go to freaking goth night, man. And my poor little girlfriend right there with her little flip flops in a sea of gothic people wearing Doc Martens and steel toe boots. She's not only tripping out on all the gothic people, she's tripping out that her poor little toes are gonna get crushed, you know. That is one of the most dangerous things you can ever do, is wear flip-flops to goth night. I mean, come on, let's be real. She's over here talking about her feet are cold. Like, yeah, you wearing flip-flops in wintertime. What are you doing, baby? You got $200 Uggs somewhere. Put those bad boys on. Oh, excuse me, guys. Hey, excuse me. Hey, no. Anyway, back to it. All the homies, all the fellow comedians went to goth night. We're talking to everybody, like a lot of the whole, pretty much the whole people, everyone that was at the mic that day. Anyway, we're all there vibing, gothing out, you know, and we're in there in the middle of this sea of Doc Martens, and I'm there, and we're all dancing in a circle. Oh, and right there's Nicky P, right? He's just chilling. Nicky P. If you guys know who Nicky P is, man, he's such a great guy. Very cool. Very suave. Anyway, I'm talking to him about his podcast, which is called Ego in the Morning podcast, and hosted by him. And you know, he hasn't done a few episodes, so I asked him about it. It's like, hey man, how's that podcast going? Talking about taking a break. I was like, you should start it back up. And then I kind of mentioned, like, I kind of wanted to start a podcast, and I don't know, man. I was just, you know, I don't know if I should. And then, you know, if you guys know Nicky P, man, he has a way to put things in perspective. You know, he was like, well, why don't you? Dude, you should just do it. And I was like, nah, blah, blah, blah. And him just being him, the way he was putting things, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to start a podcast. You know? So you can blame him if you guys don't like this, or thank him. And thank you, Nicky P, because I said fuck it. I'll just bust one out real quick. Let me bust one out. I busted out an hour and it was total shit because already. So we're redoing this whole thing, and I'm keeping it nice and tight. Anyway, but that was the reason I started this whole podcast, and here I am doing it. Stand-up comedian. My name, doing stand-up comedy in Riverside. Alright, let me backtrack. Let me start from the start, alright? Let me go from the very beginning. It was about 9 months into my mother's womb. Some of the best months of my life. Some of the best times in my life. I was just there chilling like... It was awesome, dude. Honestly, to this day, if I can, I like getting Airbnbs. If there's an Airbnb womb, whether it would be a room that looks like, shaped like a womb, you know, it's all the ambient noise of a womb, or an actual gigantic, my 500-pound lady's womb that I can crawl into for $150 a night with a $200 service cleaning fee, then I'll fucking gladly do that shit, man, because my whole life to this point, I've been trying to get back to the womb, you know? I was born into this cruel little world, man. I'm just kidding, though, but it was, that was literally from the start, you know? Let's see, let's fast forward. I got some stories about kindergarten, but that's a whole different... I only got 30 minutes, man. I can't go into all the crazy shit that went down in kindergarten. Stay tuned for a later episode. I'll definitely get into that because that was some crazy shit. But fast forward, a second grade, and I know this might sound like a lie, and it's not. I can never tell a lie. I only tell dick jokes. Now, in second grade, there was a talent show, right? And, people go up, like, they were hosting a talent show, and me and my group of friends, we were all little comedians, we were all always trying to crack each other up. It was so funny. Okay, real quick, this is what made me laugh. One of my friends his name was Chris, man. I remember we were in the playground and we just had beef with this other class, during recess, and we just didn't like him because he'll take up the whole sandbox. And I was like, the bell rang and I was running back to class, and I look back and I see the other, the kids we had beef with, they were building like a sand castle, like, right? And it was pretty good. Like, they're almost done. I see my friend Chris just like from far away. He just goes and he just steps on it, stomps on it, and looks back, and he walks back over it, and he just destroys their sand castle. It was so hilarious. Anyway, moving on back to the it was horrible. Moving back to the talent show, I got a group of my friends, and we all decided to do jokes. I have pictures of this. My mom has them. I'm trying to have her send it to me. But yeah, the whole thing was to do jokes. So just imagine this. Imagine the mic stand and then a single file line lined up behind the comic at the mic, and there's a single file line behind them. And then the guy will go up, tell a joke, and then go to the back of the line, and we'll repeat this process. Each one person will tell a joke. I wrote everyone's jokes. I don't know why they couldn't come up. I honestly don't think anyone came up with jokes. I literally think I wrote everyone's jokes. I don't remember the jokes, but I do remember one. And one of the jokes was and it wasn't my joke. I wrote the joke, but I gave it to my friend Juan, who was right behind me. Like, so I went up first. I told the joke, and then he would go up, tell a joke, and then Chris, and then all the other dudes. Like, it was like 5 of us, five people rotation. So I told the joke, he told his first joke, and then I don't know why, I think that I liked the joke that I gave him. So when it was my turn to go up the second time, I just straight up took the joke. So I think he went up and he had it already planned. Like, this would be the first joke, second joke. I took his second joke, and he was up there frozen. And I was in back of the line after stealing his joke. I was like, come on, man, what are you doing, bro? Come on, you gotta act on your feet, bro. Come on, you can't be doing this, man. We got people watching. Nah, it was pretty fucked up. I don't know why I did it. But whatever. I was in second grade. It was my joke anyway. I know, it's fucked up, right? He had other jokes. I don't know why he didn't just fucking come up with another joke. Use his other joke. But then I got reprimanded by the teacher. They were talking about, like, hey, you can't be stealing. You come on. He was up there frozen. He had nothing. He was up there. I was like, damn, I can't imagine how that feels. Luckily, I've been bombing consistently since then. So whatever. I've been in alright, I guess. But nah. Anyway, I can tell you the joke. I know exactly the joke I took. And it wasn't a great joke, but I like to think of it as an ironic joke. Now that I think back at it, it was like this is the joke. All right, it was like, you think I'm like, I hate it when people call me stupid. I was like, the person calling me stupid can't tell the difference between the Loch Ness Monster and Godzilla. Hey guys, don't all laugh at once, man. You're gonna blow out the speakers, man. Jesus. I know, right? I think, you know what I mean? It's like, because who can really tell the difference between Godzilla and the Loch Ness Monster? I mean, I guess the Loch Ness Monster has more of a seal-colored flesh texture. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a joke. I think it's more of a ironic joke, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think I am an idiot because you can't tell the difference, really, from... Anyway, that was the joke. And we're off. All right, cool. Hey, listen. So another reason I didn't want to start this podcast was, I think I already mentioned it, but it was like, you listen back at some of the stories some of the things you did as a kid, and you're just like, maybe I shouldn't be telling people that. Like, for instance, like, we had this kid come over there's this little kid, and it was like, he came over to the sleepover, and we're all hanging out. We'll play this game named, game called Marbles, and it wasn't our idea. I didn't come up with the game. It was one of my best friends, cousin. They're like from LA, so they're like little badass little kids. They might as well had freaking silver teeth, man. They were brutal ass little kids. We're about like in 3rd or 4th grade. These kids were brutal, man. And the game was called Marble. So the idea of the game is like we're all in a room, right? And you imagine a 4th grader's room, right? A bunch of plastic ass toys, Legos, Nerf guns, giant transformer, footballs, basketball, just everywhere scattered around the room, right? The game was you turn off the lights and you yell marbles, and you just grab something and just throw it randomly in the room. Yeah, I know, right? I was fucking scared for my life. But we'll play that a few times, and then this one kid that, this kid smelled. He was like a little skinny, scrawny kid. But so was I. So we were kids, right? So he came over, kind of an annoying little shit. But he came over, and these kids, man, they all like behind this kid's back. They're like, all right, man, we're gonna play marbles, right? Let's all look where this kid is gonna be, and then we just all chuck the shit at him, right? We all chuck it when the light goes off. I know it sounds horrible, right? Thought it was kind of funny back in the day, but it sounds horrible. That's why I don't want to do the podcast, right? Because I'm not saying I don't want to tell this story. I'm just saying it's just like, fuck, some of the stuff I might say on here, I might be regretting it. Hopefully not. I mean, I'm just trying to be funny, guys. Look, it's a comedy podcast. So anyways, the lights goes off, and we just fling a HP printer at this kid. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. Nah, we didn't do that. We were like little toys and stuff. We all threw it in his direction, and some of it got it. I mean, we didn't all get him. I mean, he was in a little nestled in a little corner, but yeah, we just heard all the things crash on one corner of the room. We turn on the light, and this kid's just like, just right there laying down all fucked up. This kid, we're like, oh man, and we all felt bad. We're like, oh shit, man. Well, actually, I felt bad. Everyone else, like all my group of friends that I went to school with, felt bad. But their little fucking cousins were little evil pieces of crap. They were just like laughing, like, damn, dude, you got fucked, whatever. Yeah, see, that's why, that's it sounds horrible, but whatever. It's a story. It happened. What are you gonna do? Like, I was a kid. We all do some fucked up things when we're kids, Freaking, I'm not Dahmer. Jesus. Why am I getting so aggressive? I'm annoyed because like I wasn't gonna tell this story till like later on. But because I'm redoing the podcast, like it's a whole different structure now. So, all right, moving on. 2nd grade, past the bully years, I guess. I wasn't a bully, man. Oh yeah, I was in 6th grade, I became the 6th grade class president. Yeah, believe it or not, I wrote a little speech and everything. I ran for class president, and my friend G Loke, I won't say his name unless I'll have to ask him if I can mention him on the podcast, but I don't think he'll mind. But I ran for president, and he ran for vice president. He easily could have ran for president. He was much more popular, but I'm telling you, man, I wrote a hell of a speech, man. I wrote a hell of a fucking speech. I was up there promising soda machines with freaking, listen, we're gonna have Sprite Remix in our cafeteria, man. We're going to have Jolt. Not Mountain Dew. We're going to have Jolt. Alright, kids? And we're going to have freaking Little Caesars pizza for lunch instead of these square little hunks of shit they give. I was lying. I was lying my ass off. Well, I think I believed it. I think I honestly believed it. I believed I can get these things done. And then when I got elected and I realized the whole system's a fucking sham, dude. Ain't nothing changing. And that's when I got my first taste of cynicism in the political system, man. The world is flimsy, and it's all bullshit, you know. But anyway, I became the class president. It was the fucking shit, man. I used to sit at the front of the assembly. There was a row of chairs, and all the kids would sit there, and you know, I was there as president. My buddy, the vice president, and I had two cabinets. These other two girls that beat my two friends that were running for cabinet 1 and cabinet 2. And we were trying to be like all, you know, me president, the homie G-Loke as vice president, my homie Godsey as cabinet 1, and Jose as cabinet 2. That was the goal. They didn't win. These two girls won. And, you know, fuck it. It should be like that, right? You can't be all dudes. You have to be diversified, you know? So anyways, they won. And another funny side note, like, you know how, like, if the point of the vice president is like if the president goes out, they step in and they handle shit. That literally happened. I literally went to Mexico for to visit family for about 3 months, and then my buddy became the president for those 3 months. It was incredible, man. He handled it. He was handling that shit. He was the head. I was like, damn, this is democracy. This is how it should be, man. Wow. Those kids got a taste of how the shit is supposed to run, you know. And then when I came back from I literally, but like I said, I went to Mexico, and I literally abandoned them during when they realized I wasn't gonna bring a soda machine with Jolt and Sprite Remix. I literally bounced to Mexico for about 3 months. I pulled a Ted Cruz and shit, and then my friends up there like freaking Kamala Harris, you know, answering all these questions, you know, like the kids are like, where the hell is our soda machine, man? He's just like, you know, if you thought we're gonna have freaking Sprite Remix at school, don't come. My buddy was up there answering all the tough questions, and then when that whole thing fucking died down, I came back from Mexico, the nice little tan, tapped my friend on the shoulders, like, all right, man, I'll take it from here, bro. How was it? Was it great? He's there with his sunken eyeballs talking about, like, man, I don't even want this shit anymore, man. My buddy looked like Obama after 8 years, man. And yeah. All right, skip all that. Oh, I have some middle school story shit, but like I said, I'm trying to keep this at least 30 minutes. All right, well, no, we'll keep it a little. Okay, I'll go a little over. Fuck it, why not? Middle school, right? Here's the thing about middle school. I peaked at 6th grade. At that point, you know, it was great. I peaked at 6th grade, then middle school became, and then I just you know what happens, right? You're in elementary school, and then you see the same kids in elementary school. When you get to middle school, kids from all different kinds of elementary schools convene to that one middle school, right? So you're not used to the same people, you know. And so if you were once hot shit in your elementary school, you're not hot shit in middle school, man, because this kid that's hot shit over there comes over and he's handling the shit, you know. He's a new it person, you know. Not saying that I gave a fuck, you know. I was just like, it was just a rude awakening, man. You know, I was from a nice little elementary school nestled up by close to Cal State, and it was very nice. And then I go to a middle school, and I got kids coming from like downtown San Bernardino, freaking Tortilla Flats, freaking kids living by Carousel Mall and shit, you know, like those badass little kids. And it was crazy, right? So I wasn't, you know, I'm not over there promising freaking Jolt sodas to these freaking kids. They know better. They can't even get chocolate milk in their elementary school. They're freaking getting... Man, they're getting their chocolate milk, man. When they go up to ask for like a chocolate milk, they'll give them a bag of white powder, a couple of syringes full of chocolate syrup and water, and then they have to make that shit themselves. They're over here like Walter White making their own fucking chocolate milk and shit. You know, that's how they were getting their stuff. So I wasn't fooling these kids. Anyway, I have this story. I have this joke, which is not really a joke. It's actually a story, but I'll tell it here since I'm going chronologically. So in middle school, I dated this. I started dating this girl named. Shit, man. I don't know if I should say name. This girl probably doesn't listen. We'll just call her Kalila, I guess. Whatever. It's not her name, but it's very close. Anyway, she was Hawaiian or whatever. I started dating her. She had a crush on me, and I literally heard this shit, man. I literally heard when she found out, like when she was telling people during PE. Like I heard her, like she was off with her crowd of friends, like, oh yeah, I'm dating Rick, and they're like him? Ew, why? Like what the fuck? And I heard that shit. I was like. And the girl that said, ew, why? I went to freaking elementary school with her. I was like, bitch, I was your president. You should better tell her I was the shit back then. Good freaking alarm just went off. Horrible. Anyway, that's why I should have ended at 30 minutes. It would have been perfect. Anyway, she was probably mad that I didn't give her the freaking soda machine, you know? So she was hating. It don't matter though. We were going to the luau dance that night, the 8th grade luau dance, and before the dance, I was with my mom at her friend's house, and her freaking mom made a big old batch of. My mom's friend made a batch of pozole. You guys know what pozole is? Well, it's like menudo, except without stomach lining. They use actual pork or chicken. I think it's pork. It was bomb. It has hominy in it. You eat it with cabbage and tostadas. And that's the key, right? The tostada part. So that means you pour some of the soup on the tostada and you're eating it with your hands. So you got the juice running from the tostada going all across your mouth and your hands stuff and whatever. And I wipe that shit off. Then I get ready to go to the luau dance. I get dropped off at the luau dance. And I'm there with this girl that I just started dating that day, and we're there at the luau dance, and we're there dancing, right? And I'm looking at her face, and I don't even remember how she looks, but she was. I'm assuming she was cute because I don't fuck with no uggos. Nah, I'm just kidding. I am totally kidding, guys. I'm assuming I was attracted to her. I'm just saying, in my eyes, I liked her. So I'm there dancing, and as I'm looking into her eyes, I just can't get the smell of pozole out my face. So I can't, and so I'm looking at her and I'm smelling pozole. So then I'm attributing the smell of pozole to her. And honestly, that's all it took for me to be like, nah, man, I don't want this girl. I do not want to be with some girl that smells like pozole. Ew, dude, ew. Meanwhile, I was a piece of shit that doesn't know how to wipe my mouth very good because I'm freaking 13 years old or something. Some greasy ass hair, trying to be a skater and shit. I'm over here with some G-Lo pants because skinny jeans weren't invented yet. So what kids did back in the days were girl pants to look, to have skinny jeans or whatever. You want to look like Corey Duffel. Skateboarder Corey Duffel and shit. So I'm there over here like, ew, girl. So I dumped her. Like literally like the next day or whatever. I was like, not that I even dumped her, I just ghosted her. Real piece of shit move, man. The joke's on me, man. I remained a freaking virgin all of high school years. All 5 years of my high school, man. I remained a virgin. No, that part's not true, man. I was a virgin, but I passed. I passed 4th grade. I passed those 4 years. Alright. Got that shit out of the way. Now high school. I'll end it on high school. It was funny, man. When I was in Texas, I moved away my junior year to Texas, and I was stuck over there. And imagine that, when people make a big deal about moving out of town, a couple towns over, I moved fucking couple other states, and Texas is a whole different world, man. Those people are completely different. And I was in some border town in Texas. Way different vibe. I wasn't in Austin, let's just say that. I wasn't in freaking and freaking Houston. Even I wasn't nowhere near that. I was like 4 hours away from that shit. I was in some border ass town, small town, and the thing about those towns, man, you got to realize small. Everyone grew up knowing each other. So I'll go over there and I'll be talking to this girl, and I'll make a friend. I'll make a friend with some dude. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm talking over here to Sheila over here. It's like, oh yeah, that's my cousin. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, everyone was cousins, or everyone grew up with each other, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? And that was the thing out there. You know, I was afraid. And what's so funny is that the reason we went to Texas is because my mom is from northern Mexico, and which borders the Texas border. So she has a lot of family. Like, I have a lot of family all over there. A lot of family I do not know. We did not know any family. We're broke as shit. Cause I'll be hitting them up like, yo, man, show me where the party's at, or let me go swim at your pool, man. Cause I don't know anyone. You know, it would have been great, but I didn't know anyone. And that was the other thing. My mom my mom's from out there, and you know, Californian Mexicans and Texas Mexicans are completely different people, in the sense that they use different types of slang. So the slang that Mexicans use out here, they don't really use in Texas. They use, or at least they use different terms of Texas. So I never heard the types of things my mom would say, or my mom says, are from like northern Mexico, southern Texas slang. So she'll say stuff like "qué onda" y "qué pedo," "qué jale." You know, she'll say things like that. And if you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter. The point is that slang was not used out here in California. So me and my brother would be like, man, ¿qué onda? Like, who says that shit, man? We never hear nobody like, Mom, why do you say such weird shit, right? So that slang I always attributed to my mom. So imagine me going over to South Texas, and I'm trying to talk to girls, and they're using the slang that my mom would use. It was so freaking weird, because I only heard my mom say that stuff in California. Now I'm hearing all these girls at my age saying that same exact slang. It's like, oh, my mom wasn't so crazy after all, but I don't know. This is like a complex. I don't know how I feel about this, because these people sound like my mom. It was the strangest thing. I was like over here like Marty McFly trying to date his mom in Back to the Future and shit, you know. And what was also funny is, like, since I had family out there were some girls, man, especially with I had the last name Aguirre, which is a Basque last name. I did my ancestry DNA test, and Aguirre is a Basque last name. And Basque country is between Spain and France, and it's a specific region of DNA. The DNA that people those have is nothing compared to any other European DNA. They say they're the original Irish people. They're the original Celtics. It's all this whole fucking thing. But that last name, Aguirre, is Basque. So my mom's last name is Aguirre. When I met a girl named Aguirre, her last name was Aguirre. She was a friend that will hang out at the skate park. You know, she kind of had a crush on me. But the thing about this girl is that she had the curly, coarse hair that my mom has. You know, she had the same kind of face, and she looked like my mom, and she had the last name as my mom. And so when she's trying to come on to me, I'm like, oh shit, I cannot get that. Nah, I didn't tell her why, but I knew in the back of my head, I was like, this girl's probably my second cousin. And what confirmed it, made it even more so, is that she posted a picture on MySpace of her mom when she was like a teenager, and she looked exactly like my sister. Dead ringer. I was like, oh hell no, dude. I can't be fucking around out here, man. This is some Game of Thrones shit. I'm over here like fucking the Lannisters, fucking brother and sister type of thing. I could not have that. But that was the thing about moving to a small town, you know, and not knowing anybody. Shit. I'll end it with the whole thing about, I used to like try to play guitar, be a little guitar singer, write songs. I was all into Bob Dylan and stuff. And anyway, I started a band with these guys. You know, the band was called The Feast, which is a good fucking name, and I'm trademarking that shit right now. The name is The Feast. It was a good name, but we're all bringing song. Like, they like The Strokes. I like Dylan and Bob Dylan and like Iron and Wine and like Bright Eyes and all this other stuff. You know, I like that kind of music. So they will bring in like their types of like, I'll play like some like, I'll strum some chords, and my friend will over here sound like Julian Casablancas, and we were trying to make, you know, music or whatever. But you know, we all bring our own songs to the session, right? And I brought this one love song. I was like, I think we need a love song, guys. I got this love song called all right, I should probably call it. Okay, so I'm not gonna say the name because so it was about my ex-girlfriend, right? But at the time, she was this girl I just started dating. You know, I just started dating her. I liked her a lot, and so I was like, damn, I wrote a song about her. And let's just say her name was Scarlett, and I wrote a song about her, and like it was like a lovey-dovey, sappy, almost kind of sappy, but I was trying to be all super lyrical with it, you know what I mean? And it was like almost like an epic, you know. So and then like the chorus was like, Scarlet, you're my starlet, and but you know, that kind of stupid shit. I think the intro, some of the verses going like starting the song was like honey, when I think about you, it feels like warm rain trickling up my spine. Now it's swimming in my brain. Oh, that's just kind of fire, dude. That's just pretty fire. Fire lyrics, if I do say so myself. It's pretty cringe though. But here's the funny thing, right? So I sing this fucking 5-minute epic to these guys, right? I sing it to them, and they're like, "Damn, that's a hell of a fucking song. You put a lot of thought into that. The imagery, that's a hell of a girl, man. That's a hell of a girl." I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I just wrote a little ditty. I just wrote a little ditty for her, you know. Still trying to. I'm gonna play it to her eventually." And you know, they're like, "Damn, that's a hell of a love song, man. Lucky girl, man. Lucky girl. Lucky dude, man. I'm glad you found someone, right?" Anyway, so we're at the practice, right? After I show him this song, and I'm like, oh, and then my phone starts, like, I see a message on my phone, like, oh, by the way, oh, my girlfriend's gonna bring me some food right now, guys. Oh yeah, you know, she's gonna bring me some food right now while we take a break. You guys want anything? Like, yeah, okay. So I message her, like, bring us a couple pizzas, whatever. So she pulls up to the house where we're doing the band practice, and then these guys all looks like, is that Scarlett's car? Oh shit, it's Scarlett. And then Scarlett's like, holy fuck, is that you, David? Like, oh, what's up? Oh, what? She's over here honking her horn. Beep, 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 beep. What the fuck? And I'm there standing there with my guitar like, what the fuck? These guys know each other? And they're like, oh, she comes out. She gives him a big ass hug. Damn, I haven't seen you grow in like what? It's been like a year, right? Like a fucking year. You know, some people say like 5 years, like a year. You guys were hanging out like a year ago? Like, yeah, and now we went to freaking elementary school, middle school, blah, blah, blah. And they're all fucking shooting the shit, catching up. And I'm over here just tuning my guitar in the corner, like, beep, beep. I think I should change this lyric to fucking bitch. No, I'm kidding. No, I wasn't mad. I was like, what the fuck? I was confused, right? These guys know each other. And like, oh, cool. So my girlfriend leaves, right? And then these guys are like, damn, like, you wrote that song about her? And I'm like, Scarlett? Like, yeah, I wrote it about her. And pretty much what they said was like, the essence of what they were saying was just like, damn, bro, as long as you're happy, dog. As long as you're happy, you know. Talking about like, yeah, no, we had class with her, man. She was a rebel. I was like, what the fuck do you mean she was a rebel, dude? It was horrible, man. To this day, I have this fire ass song that's just like kind of tainted because I ended up realizing she was a rebel. Broke my fucking heart. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, she didn't break nobody's heart. She didn't break my heart, man. No, in all reality, it just fell apart. What are you gonna do? I wouldn't be here today, you know. I wouldn't be the man I am today. The guy that kind of looks like Pedro Pascal if you ordered Pedro Pascal from Wish type of shit. I wish I had his voice, you know. Like, instead of this voice you're hearing, sound like Pedro Pascal, like, Grogu, you need to go over here and come with me. Fuck Luke Skywalker. Alright? These are walkers we're dealing with, okay? It's Pedro Pascal impersonation. Anyway, let me get my second guest on here. Mojo, get over here. Say hi to the people. Meow. Alright, guys. Alright, 45 minutes on the dot. Let's go. Nice and short. Shortish. I was trying to go for a half hour, but I went 45 minutes. I'll meet you in the middle, right? But stay tuned. I already got a idea planned for the second episode. I'm gonna try to drop this as soon as possible because I was trying to drop that first episode a couple days ago on Monday, but fucking Amazon, man. My broke ass ordering $20 fucking microphones. That's what I get. So here I am redoing it. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this first. Freaking alarm went off again. That's horrible. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Static Hour. Couple hiccups, but whatever, man. I'm crunching this out right before work. And stay tuned for the second episode. I think you guys are gonna really like it. And let me know what you think. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.